Hey YouTube, what is up? How is everybody doing today? I hope your days are going good and your lives are going even better than that. We are going to be jumping back into the band known as The Warning with the song called Dull Knives Cut Better. We are getting a fair bit into the album and we're on song 9, man. It is going so fast, it's crazy. We literally only have, after this one, 3 more songs as I started with Queen of the Murder Scene. Even though I didn't quite understand where we were, like when I first did it, but like I can't really do the same song again, you know what I mean? It doesn't really make sense for me to do that, but unfortunately, you know what I mean though, but like, yeah. So we're going to jump straight into this, go analyse all the usual shit. There's a playlist if you want to go check out from first all the way down to where we are now. It's totally up to you. But without further ado, let's jump into it. Damn, man. The song is actually so fitting because, you know, as it's talking about all this, like, dark, like, suicidal type things, it's got a very lovely beat to it, and that's exactly what people feel, you know, when they actually do that. They, have a euphoric sense. They are happy to be cutting. It makes them feel better. They're relieving all of that stress and pain and everything else from what they've been feeling and just kind of just changing it about them. And the song kind of fits it so very well because of that. It has that happy, euphoric feeling while also having the darkness twisted within the lyrics once again also. It's a very cool way to actually do it. It shows like a very real side to what people do when they do cut, when they do torture themselves, when they do things for whatever reason. And this song is obviously because of a very, very dire situation. But it just really shows what, like, that they really understand what they are singing about, which is very interesting considering how young they were when they wrote this, but still. Let's jump straight into the lyrics actually. The rush that's in my veins, I can't control it. Tell me why. This voice that's in my head is getting stronger. So the rush that's in my veins, like my blood is flowing, my everything's pumping. I can't quite control myself anymore. I can't control that rush anymore. Tell me why. Why is the voice getting stronger in my head? Why is it talking to me, telling me what to do, saying it's going to take over? Like, why is this happening to me? Tell me how. The aching in my bones is taking over. Tell me why. As in the aching to do it, the aching and aching in the deep in your bones trying to get you to do something. You know, when you're kind of drawn towards something and you have that ache to literally do it. Like, it's a very weird feeling, but if you've ever experienced it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And my blood ain't spilling red. I'm freaking out, feeling for nothing at all. Like, she's trying not to cut herself, she's trying not to end everything, she's trying not to end whatever the fuck she's doing right now. She's trying her best just to get on with it, try to push forward, to ignore the voices, to move forward. Is she going to be able to ignore the voices? I very much doubt it, but I think that the Crimson Queen is going to be taking over, very much so, and it's going to happen very soon, as we only have a little bit more to go, don't we? So I might give Queen of the Murder Scene a quick re-listen before I move on to Psychotic, obviously, so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes on from here, man. But it's just like, they are really, really going on about this, like, because I found out Dull Knives Cut Better, because if you don't know, if you've never experienced it, and like, I sure to hope to whatever the fuck you believe in that you never experienced it. But when somebody cuts, if they cut with a straight sharp knife, it's just a very simple cut, right? But if you cut with something that's blunt, it's like grazing and grazing and grazing and grazing and causing more pain with relatively less blood. So it's kind of relieving that pain without causing much damage, you know what I mean? That's literally what they mean by door knives cut better, in a literal sense. Not for me personally, I have no cuts on my arms whatsoever. I've just had friends and people in my life who've really got to that point of depression and bad points in their lives where they've had to just go to that point. And I've kind of had to help them through it, get through it with them sometimes, and just kind of just like do and get used to all of that shit. It's something that honestly, like, you shouldn't have to deal with people, but sometimes people just can't handle shit, and that's completely understandable. Choke on all my scarlet letters. I don't know what I'm feeling anymore. All of her feelings are out of whack, they're going away, her emotions are turning off, like, the voices in her head are starting to control, they're starting to take away things and move things around, so she can't quite get a grasp on what she's doing, what she's meant to be. Needles piercing through my brain, as in, like, the voices are basically like pain in her head, like literally, like her head is soaring, it's throbbing, it's insane for her to keep bearing this pain. Slowly inflicting the pain, I'm plucking roses, but keeping the thorns. As in, like, you're plucking the roses, but you're taking away the rose itself and just getting the thorns and literally jabbing them into herself. It's literally like that kind of pain. That's what the voices are kind of doing. It's like those needles, that pain in her head is like that dull knife that's cutting across the skin, trying to get her to end it, trying to get her to give in to everything, and it's just not really going to work out just yet. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, we don't know just yet. And it seems all those voices and the Crimson Queen in her head is actually beginning to fight as hard as she can to get control, so let's keep going. Yeah, there she goes, she finally started going. Yeah, I think it's just a very long ending, isn't it? It's like a very long held katana. Yeah. Okay. Fair days. So yeah. So she's been battling with herself because all of her feelings and emotions are turned off. There's only one way in which she can make herself feel now, and that's with the knife, with cutting herself, with abusing herself, with having that way go forward, as it's common in a lot of people, actually. Like, you wouldn't believe, like, cutting is a way from it to make people feel, once again, to snap out of whatever the fuck situation they're in their mind, at the very least. It's one of those things, unfortunately, that happens in everyday life for quite a lot of people. It's sad, but it's a common occurrence, so it's better to talk about it than it is to put it as a, oh my god, this is too graphic to talk about, this is too bad to talk about, because so many people really do it. So if you're not really going to talk about it, then there's not much point in trying to help people, because if you make it something bad to talk about, how the fuck is anybody meant to get help, you know what I mean? It's why I'm completely fine with talking about it and explaining it and trying to get into the psyche of that kind of mindset just a little bit, as it's like a real thing I've seen. Not personally affected, but like I've seen it around me, you know what I mean? Like I've seen it, had to stop it type shit, man, but still. Let's see, where did we get to? The truth sinks deeper, slipping through my fingers. Tell me why. As in the truth itself sinks deeper and deeper and deeper into her head, where she's beginning to forget. She's beginning to slip and go down and go all the way. Tell me why. The pain is ripping up my skin. I can't take it back now. The pain of the knife is ripping through her skin. She's trying to end her life. She's trying to end it so hard. But is she going to make it? Is she going to be able to end it? Because knives, unfortunately, don't always kill on the first try. It takes a lot of wounds in order to actually kill you quickly. You can very much stop yourself from dying unless you hit an artery. So, unless you exactly know what you're going for, then it's not really going to work out how you really intend for it to work. Tell me why. I hate to live like this. You can't save me now. Feeling for nothing at all. And then obviously going back into the chorus, and like she's trying to end it. She's trying to get rid of that point. The voice is a pain in the head. She's trying, and the truth is sinking. Everything is going away, and she's beginning to lose focus on her body, on her mind, on everything else. And I believe the Queen is very, very close to coming out, because she's at that breaking point, that point where she's about to just go, where she's about to leave the conscious part of the brain and go towards the back of her mind. And the Queen is about to have some fun, I would imagine, or try to at least keep them safe for the most part. Because from what I've heard, the Queen isn't so much of a bad person yet. She's more of a, I will do this because I have to, because you forced me into it, because you did this to begin with, so now I have to get us the fuck out of it type person, rather than a, oh my god, you're so evil type person. Which, honestly, I have so much respect for the Queen as a personality. Like, she's just the... If you looked at it as like a movie script, she'd be the person who comes in and saves the princess at the end, you know what I mean? Like, that would be her kind of role in this whole thing so far. Depending on how she goes from this point forward, she could go on a fucking rampage for all I know, but it's completely understandable if she does. Because honestly, like, once you've got that addiction to murder and death, then there isn't much that can really bring you away from it. And without further ado, man, let's jump into the live also to hear this with amazing live beauty, as their lives are always much better than the recorded, amazingly as well. Still, let's go.
¡Estamos listos, Ciudad de México! ¡Manos arriba! The rush that's in my veins, I can't control it. Tell me why. This voice that's in my head is getting stronger. Tell me how. Aching in my bones is taking over. Tell me why. My blood ain't feeling great. I'm freaking out. Feeling for nothing at all. 'Cause I don't just all night, 'cause don't got no control and don't know what I'm feeling anymore. Needles piercing through my brain, slowly increasing the pain. I'm blocking roses, but keeping that thought. The truth sinks deeper, slipping through my fingers. Tell me why. It's ripping up my skin, can't take it back now. Tell me how. Am I supposed to understand? Don't hold me, tell me why. I hate to live like this, just save me now. Feeling for nothing at all. I found out all night, 'cause Bella
I got chills during that bit, man. Chill. That was awesome. Like in the live, you could definitely hear the foreboding afterwards. You know, at the very end, where it's like it's kind of leaving it on a cliffhanger, on a knife's edge, if you will. Like on a very, very like, the fuck is gonna happen next? Because we're right on the edge of insanity and death and cutting and all of those things. Because of course, the knife could be a figurative meaning also. It doesn't have to be a physical knife. It could be a mental knife. It could be somebody cutting their own mind apart and trying to be like, leave me the fuck alone, and like not literally stabbing, but inside their own head they're fighting and putting up walls and all of those things. There's so many different variations of meanings you could really take from the song, as yes, it's a part of the story and everything else of the album, but of course, for me personally, because I've experienced so much of the negative side of what this song is really about, like literally, that I'm trying to kind of like put it together in a way that's away from that and trying to just go through everything. But honestly, it was a very good song. It really showed it in a really true way. It had like the euphoria of it, but also the terror and the confusion and the body just not knowing what the fuck is happening, the mind going to shit, and just to see our main character starting to fall apart quite a lot, and the queen basically talking to her and speaking to her and driving her crazy, making her feel pain in her head and all of that crazy shit, man. It's been awesome though, man. Thank you so much for watching. This was awesome. I cannot wait to check out Psychotic. I kind of hate that I started with like Queen of the Murder Scene now, because now I just can't really re-react to it, because I already did it, man. But let me know down below, man, what you guys want. Would you want me to re-react to it now that I know the whole fucking story? Or do you want me to skip to Psychotic, man? It's totally your choice. So either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was awesome. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night. And I will catch you guys in the very next video. Until then, take it easy.